Okay, I want you to picture something. You're scrolling through your feed. Maybe it's late, you're tired, the blue light is hitting your face, and suddenly you just stop, dead. It's a photo of Joe Keery.
You know, Steve Harrington from Stranger Things.
The hair, the charm, an incredibly recognizable
Oh,
face.
absolutely. Probably one of the most recognizable faces in pop culture right now.
For sure. But in this photo, he's not fighting demogorgons. He's in a hospital room. He's shirtless. He looks exhausted, but he's beaming. And he is cradling a newborn baby. And right next to him is a woman, his wife.
Right. And if you're a fan, your brain immediately does a double take. You're thinking, wait, Joe Keery is married, he has a kid.
When did this happen?
Did I miss a massive chapter of his life?
Exactly. You feel completely out of the loop. So you start Googling, looking for the tabloid announcement, the People magazine exclusive, the big Instagram post. You're just scouring the internet for the backstory.
But here's the twist.
You can't find it because it didn't happen. The baby isn't real, the marriage isn't real, and the wife, she doesn't exist either.
And we aren't talking about a simple rumor here or like a text post claiming someone saw him at a coffee shop. This is a fabricated reality. That wife is a persona created entirely by a TikTok account called Kaylee Keery. And while this sounds like just another weird internet story, it's actually the perfect entry point into this huge shift we're seeing right now in early 2026.
This is the era of AI slop and what people are now calling deepfake stalking.
Well,
it is getting weird out there.
It's a messy, messy time for digital culture.
Yeah. So today, our mission is to connect the dots between this viral fake baby story, the truly bizarre culture of prompt thieves, which brings a whole new level of irony to the table.
Oh, it really does.
And the massive announcement from YouTube CEO Neal Mohan that just dropped this January about the future of content creation.
It is a fascinating, and honestly, it's a little terrifying, to look at how the biggest platforms in the world are simultaneously fighting fake content while handing users the exact tools to create it.
Okay, so let's start with Kaylee Keery, because the details here really matter. This wasn't just some one-off prank. I mean, this account had nearly 20,000 followers.
Right, and if you just glanced at it, what did you see?
Well, that's the trap. At first glance, it looked like a standard fan page, edits of the actor, music videos, appreciation posts.
The usual stuff. How these parasocial relationships normally manifest, it feels harmless.
Totally. But this account took a very sharp turn into something else. It started posting AI-generated images of this persona, Kaylee, inserted into a relationship with Joe Keery.
And we really need to be clear about the quality here. We aren't talking about bad Photoshop where the lighting is off or the heads are too big.
Or someone has 7 fingers, right?
No. These were photorealistic. We've reached the point in 2026 where the uncanny valley is, for still images, it's basically gone. The lighting, skin texture, the shadows, it all looks legitimate.
That hospital photo was the tipping point. It went viral because it was so mundane, so normal. It wasn't a red carpet photo with weird glitches. It was an intimate, private family moment.
Yeah.
The texture of the hospital sheets, the harsh lighting on the baby, it triggered a genuine emotional response. You had people commenting, damn, I didn't even know he was married. They were congratulating him. They were emotionally investing in a lie.
And that is the danger zone. I mean, we've relied on visual evidence for truth since the invention of the camera. Pixarari didn't happen, right?
That was the rule.
That adage is dead. Visual evidence is no longer proof of reality. We're looking at a photo, processing it as fact, and by the time we realize it's fake, the emotional impact has already landed.
Just to ground us in reality for a second, because I actually had to look this up to be sure. For anyone panicking about Joe Keery's personal life, what are the actual facts?
The facts are, well, boring by comparison, which is usually the case. He dated Micah Monroe from 2017 to 2022. He was linked to Chase Suey Wonders until 2024. And as of early 2026, he is reportedly single.
Yeah.
No secret wife.
No hospital baby.
No hospital baby.
But here's the part that frustrates me. The fans did realize what was happening. They tried to stop it. They reported the account for impersonation, for deepfakes. They were flagging it left and right.
And what was the response from TikTok?
Silence.
Yep. Visible action was non-existent. The user, Kaylee, just deleted the critical comments and kept right on posting.
Why is that? Is the technology just moving too fast for the moderation teams, or do they just not care?
I think it's partly the speed, but it's also a categorization problem. Think about the rules these platforms have. This isn't smutty fan fiction in the traditional sense, just text, which platforms generally ignore.
Right.
And it wasn't explicit pornography, which usually triggers an immediate automated ban because the AI filters catch the nudity.
It's in this gray area.
Exactly. It's visual stalking. It invades personal privacy and creates a false narrative about a real person's life. But because it's technically fan art or creative expression, it slips right through the cracks of the safety guidelines. It allows a delusion to form that thousands of people unwittingly participate in. It's not illegal technically, but it feels so deeply wrong.
It feels like we've gamified stalking, and while fans are freaking out about this on TikTok, wondering how this is even allowed, over at YouTube, the corporate strategy is moving in a direction that might actually make this kind of thing the industry standard.
That brings us to the big industry news. While we're all debating the ethics of AI likeness on one app, YouTube CEO Neal Mohan released his annual letter to the community for 2026. And if you thought the Joe Keery thing was a lot, we'll wait until you hear this.
I read through this letter, and doubling down feels like an understatement. They aren't just tweaking algorithms, they are handing out industrial-grade creation tools to everyone. It felt like reading a sci-fi novel.
It's a complete pivot. The headline is basically, AI is the engine of the future. It's not an accessory anymore, it's the main event.
Okay, let's look at the new toys they're giving creators this year. The first one that jumped out at me, and frankly it creeped me out a little, was Shorts likeness. Explain that to me.
It is exactly what it sounds like. It's a digital twin. Creators can now generate YouTube Shorts using an AI clone of themselves.
Yeah.
So you don't have to shower, you don't have to set up lights, put on makeup, or even stand in front of a camera.
You just type a script.
You type a script and your digital twin performs it on screen.
Okay, let's play devil's advocate here. If I'm a burnt-out creator trying to churn out content daily because the algorithm demands it, that sounds like a lifesaver.
Sure.
I can make content while I sleep, but as a viewer, if I'm watching you, I want to watch you. If I find out I've been watching a puppet for 10 minutes, I feel cheated.
That's the friction point. Authenticity versus efficiency. And YouTube is betting that efficiency wins. And it doesn't stop at video. They introduced playables, which is a text-to-game feature.
This one blew my mind. You type in a prompt and it builds a playable video game.
From simple text, you say, I want a side-scrolling platformer where I play as a cat fighting pickles in space. And the AI generates the code, the assets, the physics instantly.
Wow.
And they're also rolling out experimental music tools to generate soundtracks. It's a full production studio in a text box.
Just to give the listener a sense of scale here, is this something only a few tech-savvy channels are using? Like a beta test for the elite?
Not at all. Mohan revealed that in December 2025, over 1 million channels were using YouTube's AI creation tools daily.
1 million channels a day. That is a tsunami of synthetic content.
It's staggering, and the consumption matches the production. 6 million daily viewers watched at least 10 minutes of auto-dubbed content. That's content translated and spoken by AI voices, so the audience is already accepting it.
So the floodgates are open, but there's a paradox in Mohan's letter that I found really striking. It felt contradictory.
The Slop paradox.
Yeah. In the same breath, Mohan acknowledges the problem of AI slop. That's the industry term for low-quality, mass-produced AI garbage that clogs up search results. He says YouTube is building detection systems to flag unauthorized faces and reduce spam.
Right. He says AI is a tool for expression, not a replacement. He wants to reassure the traditional creators.
But aren't they simultaneously democratizing the exact technology that creates the slop? It feels like selling fireworks and fire extinguishers at the same stand.
It does.
If I can make a video with my AI likeness, haven't I just replaced myself? And if a million people do that, haven't we just created a sea of slop?
You have. And that term, AI slop, is really becoming the defining struggle of 2026. Because YouTube wants the volume of content that AI provides. They need the views, but they don't want the perception that their platform is a junkyard. They want the slurry to look like premium content.
Let's dig into that term slop. It's such a gross word, but it fits perfectly. It's just this slurry of content meant to harm views. But you found a story from a YouTube channel called Dolan Darkus that highlights just how absurd this economy has become.
Oh, this is rich. This is my favorite part of the research because it's just so incredibly petty. So you have these AI creators, people who primarily generate images using prompts. They are now complaining publicly that other people are stealing their prompts.
Hold on, let me get this straight. I use AI to mimic an art style, essentially scraping millions of human artists' work, probably without their permission, to generate an image. But if you copy the text prompt, I used to do that, I get mad at you.
That is the complaint. There was a viral tweet quoted in the video that literally said, "Make your own prompts isn't advice, it's basic integrity."
Integrity. You cannot make this stuff up. Honor among thieves, I guess.
The irony is crushing. You have people who use machines to mimic human creativity getting angry that others are copying the instructions they gave the machine.
They think the prompt is the art.
They view the prompt as their intellectual property. They think, I worked hard to figure out the right words to type, so they feel ownership.
It's a snake eating its own tail. It's absurdity.
And it gets worse. The feedback loop is closing. You have AI bots stealing prompts from other AI bots, generating content that is then watched by potentially other bots. We even saw reports of creators trying to get help from YouTube support because they were screwed over by automated systems,
Let me guess.
only to be spammed by a malfunctioning support bot.
It's robots shouting at robots all the way down. But look, we can laugh about prompt thieves and the absurdity of slop, and it is funny, but there is a much darker side to this. When you take these tools out of the hands of creators and put them in the hands of bad actors, slop stops being annoying and starts being dangerous.
It does. We have to talk about the grok issue. This was reported by the Mary Sue and a few other outlets, and it really shifts the conversation from annoying to criminal.
And grok is the AI developed by Elon Musk's XAI, right?
Correct. And users on X, formerly Twitter, have been using the grok AI tool to essentially undress people without their consent.
I saw this. The bikini trend.
That's the light version of it, if you can even call it that. Elon Musk himself participated, posting AI images of himself and Bill Gates in bikinis. It was all framed as a joke, a meme.
But the technology doesn't distinguish between a joke and abuse. It just sees an instruction, put this person in the state of undress.
Exactly. And once that Pandora's box is open, it doesn't just stay with Bill Gates memes.
No.
No. The BBC reported that grok lacks sufficient safeguards and may have been used to create child sexual imagery. Because if the filter isn't perfect and the tool is designed to generate whatever you ask, bad actors will find the workaround.
This isn't just online trolling anymore. This isn't just a policy violation. This has real-world legal consequences.
We're seeing the legal system finally trying to catch up. In November, there was a specific case where a 38-year-old man was arrested. He wasn't just posting memes. He was using AI to create sexually charged content of a specific person he was stalking.
See, that's where the Kaylee Curie story stops being funny. If you can generate a fake baby, you can generate a fake crime, a fake affair, a fake compromising photo. You can ruin a reputation or terrorize someone without ever leaving your chair.
And the sentiment from the victims is so powerful. There was a quote circulating that using these tools to undress non-consenting people makes you subhuman. It's a harsh word, but it speaks to the dehumanization inherent in this tech. You stop seeing a person and start seeing a digital asset you can manipulate.
So we have stalking, fake babies, prompt theft, and slop. But the tech leaders, the platforms, they just keep pushing the gas pedal. Why? If the risks are so high, if the slop is annoying users, why are YouTube and others racing to give us more of these tools?
You have to follow the money. It always comes back to the business model. YouTube's 2026 roadmap isn't just about creativity, it's about commerce. It's about changing how we spend money.
You're talking about the in-app checkout.
Exactly. YouTube is rolling out a feature where you can buy products without ever leaving the app. They already have 500,000 creators in the YouTube shopping program. They want to turn the platform into a walled garden.
A walled garden. Break that down for us.
Meaning you never have to leave. You watch the content, you play the AI-generated game, you buy the merch, you listen to the music.
Yeah.
Every second you spend on the app is monetization. If you click a link to go to Amazon or Spotify, YouTube loses you. They want to keep you inside the walls.
So the AI tools,
Mm-hmm.
the text-to-game features,
Mhm.
the shorts likeness, it's all just to keep us on the app longer.
Engagement is the currency. If you can make a game from a text prompt, you stay on YouTube playing it instead of switching to Roblox or Fortnite. If you can make a short faster with AI, there's more inventory for ads. Mohan mentioned Shorts is getting 200 billion daily views.
200 billion, that number is hard to even wrap your head around.
And you have to feed that machine. You need infinite content to satisfy infinite scrolling. Humans can't make content fast enough to satisfy 200 billion daily views. We need sleep. We need to eat.
AI doesn't.
AI doesn't. AI can fill the feed forever.
It seems like they want to control the entire pipeline. I heard about a dispute with the Billboard charts, too. That fits into this control narrative.
Yes, that's a telling detail. Lyra Cohen, who's the global head of music at YouTube, refused to share streaming data with Billboard for their charts. The argument was technical about how free streams are weighted versus paid ones, but effectively it shows YouTube wants to control its own data narrative.
Because if they are generating the music with AI and distributing it on their platform,
They wanted to define what a hit is on their own terms without Billboard's legacy metrics getting in the way. If an AI song blows up on Shorts, YouTube wants to own that success story completely.
it's a massive power play. And amidst all this, the billions of views, the AI clones, the shopping, the sheer scale of this corporate strategy, they threw in a little update for parents, didn't they?
A small bandage on a gaping wound. They're adding parental controls to limit scrolling on Shorts for kids.
Which is good, honestly. I know parents who would love that.
It is good.
Yeah.
But given how addictive the algorithm is designed to be and how much slop is pouring into the feed, it feels a bit like putting a slowdown sign on a Formula One track. It acknowledges the danger without actually changing the design of the car.
So let's try to pull this all together for the listener. We covered a lot of ground. We started with a fake baby on TikTok and ended up with YouTube trying to become the ultimate AI shopping mall.
The aha moment for me is that we are in this really bizarre transition period. Platforms like YouTube are publicly fighting AI slop. They hate the spam, they hate the bad PR, they don't want advertisers to flee. But simultaneously,
They're handing everyone a slop bucket and a shovel.
they're democratizing the production of synthetic reality because they need the content volume to sell the product.
Precise.
And people like the creator of Kaylee Curie are taking those shovels and digging holes that real people like Joe Curie have to deal with. The tools might be neutral in theory, but the incentives are not. The incentive is views at any cost, and AI makes the cost very, very low.
It's a lot to process. We've got fake wives, robot clones, and prompt thieves fighting for moral superiority. It feels like the internet is having an identity crisis.
It really creates a question I think every listener needs to sit with. If YouTube's vision for 2026 is creators making AI clones of themselves to sell products via in-app checkout, at what point does the human element of the creator economy become obsolete? Are we creators, or are we just the source material for the machine?
That is the question.
And to take it a step further,
Yeah.
if we can't tell the difference between a real baby photo and a Kaylee Curie fabrication, have we already broken the social contract of the internet? If seeing isn't believing anymore, what are we actually doing here?
That is a thought that's going to keep me up tonight. We're going to leave it there. Thanks for diving deep with us.
Always a pleasure. Watch out for the slop.
Catch you next time.